From gardening to animals to extreme renovations, welcome to Homesteading at College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. This morning we're answering the potato fertilizer question. Yesterday I harvested my first row of potatoes. Well, every year, ever since I was a kid, the way we planted potatoes was simple. You put down your potatoes, you put down for a 100-foot row, you put down 2 pounds of fertilizer. Well, my fertilizer costs $20 a bag, 2 pounds of it, it's a 40-pound bag. So, how much per pound? 50 cents a pound. So, you put 2 pounds, so you put $1 worth of fertilizer on your potatoes. That's the way Paul did it. He put $1 worth of fertilizer, wasn't $1 worth back then, but it's $1 worth today, of fertilizer on them, covered them, and then he didn't put fertilizer on his potatoes again. But now all of the agricultural websites say that you put fertilizer on when you plant them, and then you put fertilizer on again, the same amount, 2 pounds per 100-foot row. You put 2 pounds on when they start developing small potatoes. Well, I've never done that. So this year, I thought, well, you know, you're just investing an extra $1. My potatoes don't cost me anything. I don't buy seed potatoes. I keep the potatoes from the year before. So I don't buy seed potatoes. I have my own tractor. We plow, we till, we plant, and then we heel. So I probably use, on a 100-foot row of potatoes, I probably use 15 cents or 20 cents worth of diesel fuel. So on that 100-foot row yesterday, you'll remember, and I'll put a link to that video right here. On that row, we collected about 50 pounds of potatoes. When I got them to the house and checked them, it's right at 50 pounds. So just shy of a bushel in a 100-foot row. But now I didn't do the second plowing, okay? I didn't do the second plowing, just the first initial plowing. I'm going to do that second plowing this morning when I plow this row. But you'll see both rows worth of potatoes in the bucket today. So I'm going to get at that. I want to know, is that second application of fertilizer, did it do anything good for my garden? Or did I just waste $1? I can afford to waste $1, but I'd rather not waste $1 if I don't have to. Because I only buy one 40-pound bag of fertilizer every year. So I'm going to get at that, and I've got the tractor set up with the Tater plow on it right here. And we're going to go down this row. I've got it set on the row already, so let's see how many taters it turns out. All right, I've cut the row up. My initial impression is I don't see a lot of difference. The potatoes might be bigger, I don't know. Looks like there might be more big ones than there are little ones. The other row we had a good mix of big ones and little ones. Crystal and I like the little ones as good as the big ones. So I'll go ahead and pick them up, and then we'll decide. I just use my bucket method and grabber. But today, where I've been unable to garden for 45 or 50 days, my my hands have got tender. So I'm gonna put on some gloves this morning, kind of keep from getting, I was trying to get a blister on this hand from the grabber. So that's what you get when you have to stop gardening for a while. But I'm starting to feel back in the swing of things. Okay, let's start picking these up. Oh. Okay, I've picked up part of them. My preliminary verdict is no difference. So I won't worry about fertilizing probably. I'll go ahead and finish picking up this row and then make my decision. But in my opinion, so far, down this row, and I may have missed the row a little bit, I'll come back and do another plowing. I haven't found much difference. Now, these potatoes might be a little bit bigger, and I'm just saying might be, because I just can't tell much difference. So that extra 2 pounds of fertilizer probably just went to fertilizing weeds. So I'll go ahead and get these picked up, and then we'll talk about it here at the end. The 2 rows gave me about 100 pounds of potatoes. There's probably between 90 and 100 pounds here. I haven't done the second plowing. I'm going to show you in a second what the second plowing does. It'll probably turn up 20, 25 pounds more potatoes in the 2 rows. Generally the first plowing you get most of them, and then the second plowing you get the ones you missed. So I'm looking at the 2 rows giving me close to a bushel a row. They're 100-foot rows. I've got 50 pounds a row in the first dig. Without running through the second time, I'll probably get 20 more pounds, 25. So I'm getting about half a pound per foot a row. Now I don't know what the big boys get. I'm sure they probably get better than that. But I'm getting about a half a pound per foot a row. Now I've got 7 rows here. So that gives me and Crystal about 350 to 400 pounds of potatoes at the end of the year. So basically a pound of potatoes a day, if you think about the way a prepper would think about these potatoes. Well, a pound of potatoes is 454 grams. Every gram of potato is 1 calorie. So there's 454 grams a day, calories per day, that we'll get out of this potato patch to split between me and Crystal. Imagine how many it would take to feed a family of 5. Think about that. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you do the second plowing. So we'll do that, and then I'll come back to you and show you. I did my second run down the row, and I don't know how well you can see them. There are a few laid out down there. If I had to guess, I'd say in the 2 rows, my second plowing, I've probably turned over enough to fill a 5-gallon bucket. Well, a 5-gallon bucket of potatoes weighs right at 20 to 22 pounds. So you see that in a previous video we did. So a 5-gallon bucket weighs 20, 22 pounds of potatoes. So that's going to bring my total up to about a bushel a row. So a bushel a row is about a bushel a row, 60 pounds. So it's 120. So we're talking about something like I don't know, 10 ounces for every foot of row. Now I don't know how the big boys do that grow potatoes industrially, but that's enough for me and Crystal for the year. Now, in order to have those, we'll have to freeze some. We'll also set aside some that'll eye out for our seed potatoes for next year, because you need to have seed potatoes. And we'll store some in our rack. We seldom ever can potatoes. It's just that's just a lot of work for something that we can do with the freezer. Make hash browns and French fries and things like that. Put them in the freezer, and then have our regular potatoes for bacon and that kind of thing. Now, if you like this kind of stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every day, sometimes twice a day. We upload videos every Sunday, sometimes 1, sometimes 5, depends on what's going on the homestead on that week. So now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing.